Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to create an IAM user. Okay. So before that, I'll just briefly try to explain what an IAM user is. So whenever you create an AWS account, you use basically an email ID to create your AWS account. So that email ID and password becomes your root user credentials. So when you log into your AWS account using the email ID that you used to create the account, you will have access for all the resources and services in that particular AWS account. Okay, so that is called root user. Now suppose if you want to grant access to someone else with let's say limited permissions and access, then you can make use of IAM and create an IAM user. So you can create an user and which has a username and password, and then that user can log in into your account using those credentials, and he or she will have the permissions only which you have granted to that user. Okay, so with that context, let's try to see how to create an IAM user. Okay, I'm in my AWS console. I'll just open IAM. Okay, so once you are in IAM console, this is how it looks like. Okay, to create an user, click on users here. Okay, so I don't have any users created yet, so click on create user. Okay, if you basically before just one point before you start creating user, I am logged in through my root account. So you either need to be logged into your root user or an IAM user which has permissions to create IAM users. Okay, so yep, you can click on create user, and username is anything that let's call it John or something. Okay, so and this is basically it's asking whether you want to give this user a management console access. Okay, if you don't check this box, this user will have only programmatic access, meaning he can access your AWS account only through like SDKs or CLI. Okay, so I'm going to give this user a programmatic console access as well. So I'm going to check this, and I'm going to click on I want to create an IAM user here, and you want to auto generate the password, or if you want to give a custom password, we can just give it here. So make sure you give the password which satisfy all those conditions. Okay, so here it's asking whether you want the user to create a new password when he or she first signs in into your AWS account. Okay, I'm just going to uncheck this. Okay, and click on next. And here it's asking like what are the permissions that you want to give to this user. Okay, so if you already have an IAM user group created, so group is basically like a group of users which have a certain set of permissions. You can add this user to this group, and this user will automatically get all the permissions which are there for that group. Okay, since I don't have any group created as of now, I'm not going to select this. Or you can also copy permissions from other policies or group memberships. I'm not going to select this as well. I'm going to select policies, attach the policies directly. Okay, so when you select this, it shows you the list of policies that are there. Policy is basically let's say a JSON document which defines the access that this IAM user will have. Okay, so if I expand this policy, it will show you this is the JSON document for this policy. Okay, you can attach any policy to this IAM user, and that user will have that particular policy. So if I select this administrator access, basically the user will have all, like if you see allow, action star and resource star, so he will have permission for all the resources. I don't want to give him administrator access, so let's try to give him only S3 access. Okay, so I'm going to give him only Amazon S3 full access. So let's say we just want that user to be accessing only S3. Okay, so we'll select that. Permissions boundary, for now we will ignore it. I will cover this in my upcoming videos. Okay, and click on next. Okay, it's just asking us to review this settings. Okay, so it looks good. Click on create user. Okay, so yep, once you have created the user, you can also email the sign-in instructions to that user. Okay, now let's try to log in to this, using these user credentials, and see what permissions does that user have. Okay, I'm going to open a new window, and we'll try to log in that window. Okay, I had copied that sign-in URL. Click on enter here. Okay, so this is our account ID. IAM username I'm going to give as John, and password is what we gave when we were creating the IAM user. Okay, so let's click on sign in. Okay, now if you see, we are signed in as John, and here if you see John at this account. Okay, so let's try to access some other service, like let's say EC2 from this user. If you see, it's saying like is not authorized to perform all these operations, so that's why all we are seeing all these errors. So if you see, click on instances running, you see like you are getting an error saying you're not authorized to perform this operation. So because we have not given this user any access for IAM, sorry, EC2. So let's try to, because we had given this user full access to S3, let's try to access S3 from this user. Okay. So yep, if you see, is able, like we are able to see the buckets and everything. We can able to, like, I mean, download the files, etc. Okay, so yep, that's pretty much how you create IAM users and grant them like, I mean, particular access and use those IAM credentials to log into your AWS account. Okay, so this was just a basic video on how to create an IAM user. In the upcoming videos, we will see we'll dig more deep into what an IAM role is and what IAM policies are. So in this case, we had attached the S3 full access policies to this user. We'll try to understand more about policies and things like that. Okay, so I I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.